Hello audience, and Happy New Year. Yeah, I know it's almost February now, but this is the first video I've actually started on this year. And it usually takes me about this long to fully recover from the holidays and work out what I'm going to do for the year. So I thought I'd give you just a quick update on the current projects I have around here, what their status is, and what I plan to do with them this year. Now first of all, I've gotten a lot of messages and phone calls and emails lately of people asking, did the fires in the LA area make it out to here? And the answer is no, they didn't. We were a lot closer to them than I'd like to be, but they never hit this side of town. And it looks like they're not going to. So we're fine over here, don't worry about us. But your concerns are appreciated. And now, on with the show. First we have the 1961 Ford Falcon four-door sedan. Now if you've watched the last video, you're pretty much already up to date on it. I'm still working on fixing the floor, pretty much done with that, and we can start assembling it pretty soon. Now if you like content on this car, the good news is you're going to see a lot more of it, because everything else is pretty much on hold until this is done. I knew that doing all this was not going to be convenient, but if you wait for a convenient time, it's not going to happen, so I just did it anyway. But the good news is we got a lot of stuff done on it now. And this is my 1913 Ford Model T touring car. Now this project has been on this channel for quite some time. I was building the body for it and slowly restoring the chassis. Now about spring of last year I started just throwing this together any old way because I wanted to get this together for the Signal Hill Model T hill climb, which I did. Ran it and it did a respectable time on it. Now, since it was already running, I decided to keep it that way for the rest of the year. So I took it on a few events, ran it on the holiday motor excursion, which it was kind of a neat thing for me, because ever since I got this car, I've been saying every year that by the end of the year, it's going to be finished enough to be able to drive on the excursion. And this was the first year that was actually true. So now it's been sitting here pretty much acting as a storage shed. I'm probably going to take this apart pretty soon and finish everything up. Because the body never got finished. I still need to install the top brackets, make the tack strips for it. I want to get started on the interior, but I can't do that till all that is finished. And a lot of stuff on the chassis needs to be done, so that's probably going to happen pretty soon. If you're wondering what happened to the wheels, I sent those out to get rebuilt not too long ago. And here we have my 1918 Ford highly modified 1-ton truck. I drove this on the national tour last June and pretty much parked it ever since. I borrowed the carburetor and the coils off of it to get the touring car running, and that's done now. I've since returned all those to this and it runs again. It did have the wrong radiator on it, which didn't fit at all and started falling apart. It really started falling apart after the tour, and I kind of just parked this ever since. I've since put together the correct radiator for it, and we're now working on restoring the shell. The next thing to do is relocate the firewall because it's been moved too far forward, which I didn't know when I put the cab together, so that's too far forward, so I need to relocate all that. Also need to make floorboards for it. A bunch of little stuff, which you'll probably see in future videos, and I plan to get all that done before I start taking the touring car apart, because I want at least one Model T running at all times. Also, a few things that need to be done, not quite as urgent, but still need it, is the top is falling apart. I need to redo that. I'll probably put together a set of side curtains for it also. I'm also thinking about putting together a set of wood wheels, but no promises there. And this is my 1965 Chevrolet Impala. And not much has changed on it since the last update, apart from I bought more parts for it. It hasn't gotten any worse. It still has a lot of big problems that need to be sorted out, like the front suspension is worn out, the exhaust needs to be repaired, the wiring is a mess. Pretty much a lot of stuff I never did or didn't do right the first time I restored it. And unfortunately, all that requires taking the car quite a bit far apart. And I've already got several partially disassembled cars around here, so I need to get some of those projects under control before I start on this. So, unfortunately, it's still going to be a while before we see it again, but you will see it this year. And that's it, at least for my cars. There might be some other projects coming in here this year, I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm going after these as fast as time and budget allow, and they get done when they get done. I'm currently editing 2 videos on the Falcon. You'll probably see one of those in the next week or so. After that, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.